Sock Opera is the fourth episode of Gravity Falls' second season and 24th overall. In it, Dipper tries investigating the laptop, but it has a password. In desperation, he makes a deal with Bill to try and solve it. Meanwhile, Mabel's crushing on a new guy who's really into puppets. Shenanigans ensue. We pick up with the laptop plot from Into the Bunker. The screensaver resembles the portal. Alex Hirsch confirmed in the commentary for the episode that the idea for sock puppets came from just a bunch of random drawings he made, with Mabel doing random things.
Dressed as a bumblebee, being the mascot of Buzzum's brand Bumblebee cereal. One of them was her like roller skating. One of her was being attacked by 100 socks. And that 100 socks drawing I had on my desk, and I was like, something with socks?
Mabel references Mermando from the Deep End, which Dipper did not care too much for. Oh, cool, the library has zoo books. Alright, they got a jaguar and owl. In this episode, we find out that Candy is Korean, or at least can speak it. Mabel makes Mabel juice. It is some kind of red liquid with toys floating in it. At the 2015 Comic-Con, it came in second place in the Fandom Food Challenge. You can actually buy it at then. Here's how you can make it at home. Personally, I'm pretty sure Mabel juice is just like Kool-Aid with toys floating in it and way, way, way too much sugar in it. Dipper uses Wendy's hideout. This is the second appearance of Bill Cipher in the series. They mentioned the first appearance all the way back in Dreamscaperers. Bill tipping his hat and the world shifting with him is a reference to originally this was going to happen during his first appearance, as well as Bill knows that Dipper is not his real name. Bill's cane is now glowing yellow rather than black like in Dreamscaperers. The constantly screaming head apparently is meant to resemble Jason Momoa as Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones. How did this get past Disney censorship? Since now we know Bill Cipher, we can see that he's in the window. We know Dipper's sleep deprived in this episode and we see him yawn, so it's very heavily implied that the memory erase thing and the countdown is actually just all in his dream, given how fast it goes and given what we know about Bill Cipher, especially later on. Bill proposes the deal, giving him the password. In exchange, Bill gets a puppet. Bill also references that Mabel hasn't been sacrificing as much as Dipper has, referencing Tourist Trapped, Time Traveler's Pig, and The Deep End. So Dipper actually accepts this. Just a twist, and he's the puppet. Possessed Bill smashes the laptop, saying that Dipper is getting too many answers too fast, which is just kind of what Alex Hirsch has been thinking while writing this. But given the hindsight of the show, this makes absolutely zero sense for Bill to do when we find out what his ultimate plan is. Bipper is allowed to slap himself, toss himself down the stairs, nearly chokes on soda, slams his arm into a desk, stabs himself with forks, but Disney censorship and he still has to wear a seatbelt. They also censored Bipper doing the knife game, even though I remember they did this in Samurai Jack with a fork. Bill knows the date and cause of death for Zeus. Candy has the same keyboard brand that Zeus does, and she's dressed like David Bowie. Bipper calls Grenda a monster. A lot of people in the fandom took this as confirmation that yes, Grenda is a monster girl, or she's also possessed by a weird creature. In reality, the joke is just it's funny that the 12-year-old girl has a really deep, manly voice. In the crowd, we can actually see Agent Powers and Trigger spying on everyone. And we can even see earlier they somehow bugged the shack. Mabel's sock opera is actually really well put together. Dipper possesses his puppet. He scrunches up his mouth when he's angry, like Kermit the Frog. Bill wants the journal, and Mabel's using it as a prop in her play. The amount of people who have admitted that Bipper is their sexual awakening is outrageous. Also, his priest outfit is based on the movie The Night of the Hunter. Mabel defeats Bill using Dipper's shortcomings to her advantage, because Dipper is sleep deprived and already out of shape. The part where Stan's puppet flies off and is burning plays Ave Maria, which you've definitely heard in like a billion different movies and shows. But for some reason, Disney really did not want to use the song for this episode, even though it's been in other Disney stuff. In the commentary of the episode, Alex talks more about this and how it apparently was one of the hardest things he got Disney to accept.
The forces at B felt that using Ave Maria might be seen as offensive to somebody as it is a religious song. My argument was I'd seen it in the Tostino's pizza roll commercial.
Credits play over live-action footage of real puppets. The puppeteers are Alex Hirsch and Matt Chaplin. More professionally done puppets of McGuckick and Stan are a reference to Standor and Waldorf from The Muppets, because they are also old men sitting in a balcony making fun of the show. These puppets were also seen at San Diego Comic-Con 2015. There's a little bit of Mandela effect where Mabel wakes up because this was all just a nightmare and turns her puppet away. A lot of people think that the puppet turned back around and was possessed by Bill, but no, that was just an edit someone did on Instagram. The original end credits apparently were going to be Gabe, the puppet guy, feeling bad for breaking it off of Mabel, and a bunch of kids laughing at his misery. Mabel outfit check. Her main sweater of the episode is this pale pink one with a yellow horse on it. You can actually tell that the hair on it is yarn extending from the sweater. Not counting clips from past episodes. We also see her in her blue umbrella sweater from Hannah Rocks Mabel, her white four-leaf clover sweater from Fight Fighters, and her watermelon sweater from Bottomless Pit, which seems to be her favorite fruit. There's also her big sleeping shirt, and Puppet Mabel is wearing her iconic shooting star sweater. Our key is Cypher. Our code is, we all had some fun tonight. Well, let's not forget the real puppet masters, our reptoids who have infiltrated the government, referencing a lot of crazy people believe that the government's ran by lizard people. There's also another code we see here. This black light code translates to pure energy, not skin and bones, rising like a shepherd tone. A shepherd tone is a sound illusion of a tone that's constantly rising, but it isn't actually. Also in the official Journal 3, we find out the password was Stanford. Is that a spoiler? Also, they totally forgot to edit out the pause thing. Our page is, no puppet strings can hold me down, so patiently I watch this town. Abnormal soon will be the normal. Enjoy the calm before the storm. Well, that's fucking ominous, especially for a Pinocchio reference. This is one of my favorite episodes of Gravity Falls. It feels a little early to have Bill again, but it's still great to see him and how weird he is. He's just so funny and evil, even with the hindsight of what his plan is. You can just overlook it for how chaotic he is. Bipper's defeat makes perfect sense, and it's still really funny. The episode itself even calls out how Mabel's been kind of selfish. With this being her last big boyfriend episode, and her apologizing to Dipper, she's developing well. And the laptop being introduced and just immediately smashed is really funny and very Gravity Fallsy. Now thinking about it, this and Summer Ween are kind of the perfect episodes to get the feel of Gravity Falls if you're trying to introduce the show to someone. This episode more so because it has a mystery and Bill Cipher in it. Overall, 10 out of 10. Love this one.
Thank you, Mayor. It's true I'm great, but the perfect girl needs the perfect mate. Hey, what's up? I'm gay.